Golf Channel's exclusive coverage of the LPGA Tour is presented by Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable.
We are in a sunshine state of mind, second consecutive week for the LPGA Tour in Florida. Down in South Florida, Boca Rio Golf Club, Boca Raton, the inaugural Gainbridge LPGA at Boca Rio. And Carlota Ciganda, having won that $1 million first prize for winning the Aon Risk Reward Challenge last year, tied for the lead early with a couple of rookies. Patty Tabatanikat went to UCLA, and Japan LPGA Tour star Yui Kawamoto. First full field event of the season. And Grant Boone, Judy Rankin with Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, and Karen Stupples. And our co-leader, Ciganda. At the 15th, we say hello to Tom.
Well, thank you, Grant. This hole, a par 4, 400 yards on the card, and Karen Stupples is out there for us watching.
Well, and Carlota absolutely pummeled a drive down this hole. It's playing a bit into the wind. It's into and off the left. She only has about 132 left. I think the signal from her caddy, Johnny Scott, different from last year, who Terry McNamara was on the bag, but Johnny, who was caddied for Lydia Ko, working for Carlota. And this is a 9-iron.
Yeah, nice shot from Carlota, who had 3 birdies in a row from the 10th, so turning it around on the back nine, having had 9 consecutive pars to start the day here at Boca Rio. And we'll go to the 14th.
And a dogleg left, par 4. We find NB Park, whom we saw an awful lot of last week, and Jerry Foltz is there.
Right in the middle of the fairway. This into the wind from the left, same as the shot Karen just described. Her caddy, Brad Beecher, signaling the 5-iron. Turning over a little left, might miss the green.
Uh-oh. Always a little surprising when we see NB hit one off target, Judy.
Yeah, that's a pretty big miss for NB Park. And in fact, the last shot we saw her play up in the Orlando area was a similar kind of miss that put her out of that 3-way playoff.
Angela Stanford, healthy again at 14.
Healthy and motivated. Second shot from 152, swinging very strong at it. This just left of the hole and leaking right gently. Beauty.
Good shot.
Missed a chunk of last year with a rib injury. The winner of the Evian Championship back in the fall of 2018. The American finally got that coveted major. There's another major champ, another American, Danielle Kang.
Good tee shot here for Danielle. All 3 of them right in the middle of the fairway. Just different distances based on the amount of bunker they cut off from this dog leg. 143 for Danielle. Ooh, that started right. It's going further right.
That swing was almost like a little wipe with your putter, where the club goes left and the face stays open. It's really easy to understand when you see someone do it with the putter, but that was with a full swing.
All right, so Ciganda, the veteran, with a couple of rookies, tied for the early lead day 1 here in Boca. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Boca Raton, Florida, it's live first-round coverage of the Gainbridge LPGA at Boca Rio. Sun-splashed Thursday here. We're just a few miles away from the Palm Beaches, the southern part of Palm Beach County. There's so much great golf has been played through the decades, and Boca Rio opened back in the late 1960s, and it is golf only here, and they take it very seriously. And this is a very small but proud membership hosting the LPGA Tour in this inaugural event. As we look at some of the highlights, Saganda, that $1 million bonus last year, Judy, but looking to get back in the winner's circle. It's been a few years.
Yeah, when she gets the putter going, she's gonna play pretty well. The difference with Carlota Saganda is she has not been great at closing a golf tournament. If she should become that this year, I'm going to pick her as somebody who's going to have a monster year.
She's had monster years without winning, which tells you how special and consistent of a player she can be. 15.
Carlota Saganda hasn't won on the LPGA since 2016. She has this for birdie and to tie the lead. Karen?
This has a good bit of swing to it, Tom, to the right. It is uphill slightly, but it's also a bit downwind.
Oh, it just needed 2 or 3 more inches of speed.
Green's running pretty smooth. And about 11 on the stimp. They don't want to get them too quick here because the breeze can whip up in this part of the world. We're only 7 miles or so from the Atlantic Ocean.
At the 14th, Kang, third shot.
Pretty basic pitch here, although it is coming out of the Bermuda rough. Green slopes toward her, and it's not exactly firm right now after some overnight rains. NB Park ran her bunker shot well past the hole and will have a lot of work remaining for par. Catch this one cleanly. It should not release a whole heck of a lot depending on how much loft she's playing it with. It's going to turn left a bit as it rolls along the green. Very well done.
She had the first round lead last week at the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions. She's won each of the last 3 years.
Brittany Lincecum for a birdie here at the 15th, and she needs one.
She does, Tom. And that looked like to be a really slippery putt, so I don't really blame her for being a bit cautious on that.
2 double bogeys on the back 9 for Brittany so far. She is 4 over par.
All right, welcome to the booth here at 18. Grant Boone with the Hall of Fame member Judy Rankin. Back again for another year of calling golf, Judy. Another decade.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy to the 20s. Is
2020.
This the 20s? 2020s.
Who would have thought we'd ever get here? This is a really fun week in a lot of ways. Last week was great. The Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions up in Central Florida. In a way, though, it was kind of like an all-star game. You had winners of the last 2 years. When you see someone like Saganda who racks up $1 million seasons over and over but doesn't get in because that's a winners-only event, you're reminded this, in many ways, is the start of the full field season. It is.
Yeah, that's right. There's certainly a place in professional golf for those tournament of champion kind of events, but this is a true start to the season for everybody. It's a small field, 108 players. That's because of the daylight hours, but everybody now really gets started, and there are 19 new rookies on the LPGA Tour. 8 of those are in this field. I just know a little bit of what they must be feeling today, and it would be so nice to get off with that first round being a good one, but also a lot of players who are from just almost this immediate area.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Marie Green would be one. Morgan Pressel would be one. Those are players who are really, really working hard to try to get themselves into contention and find a win here this week. But everybody that did not play last week is trying to get their legs under them and feeling what the new season's going to be.
All right, as we go to the tee at 16, let's see Saganda.
And this is a well-struck driver, a little high, fading, and that little fade into the right to left wind will kind of knock it out the air a bit.
Yeah, that's kind of been her signature shot over the years, a little fade. It's not the most common shot we see on the LPGA Tour. Most are trying to turn it over and get that last extra yard or two.
This is where you might tell me, as you often do, to get a life, but I just saw this, Judy, and I was struck. She earned $998,654 in terms of her terrific season, and $1 million, another $1,300.
Yeah, the Aon risk reward, $1 million was an awfully big deal for this tour and for Carlota.
At 14, NB.
This for par, a little bit up the slope, turning slightly left.
took a 2-shot lead into the final round Sunday, lost in that marathon playoff. Stanford for birdie.
Up the hill, turning a little right. Birdies are rather rare today.
Enough? Just enough. Talk about marathons. She drove from her home in Fort Worth, Texas to Central Florida, played a couple of Pro-Ams, flew up to Montana to go skiing, came back, played here to get ready for it, then went up and played the Tournament of Champions. She's put some miles on the car and some frequent flyer miles as well. Here's Nelly Korda.
Second at the 15th, right at it. Good shot there from Nelly. And a chance for her to get to 3 under par and just 1 off the lead. We have a rookie at the top of this leaderboard, Patti Tavatanakit, very talented young Thai player.
Who will start this bidding at 100 guilders, looking for 100.
In 1637,
I'll bid you my house. Sold.
a tulip was worth more than a house. Until it wasn't. No matter the market, and up to a 4% return guaranteed.
I want more! Give me more!
Tulip Mania
Tulip prices hit rock bottom!
was the first market crash.
Get out! Go on!
In these uncertain times, you can count on Gainbridge.
Hiring is challenging, especially for a pivotal role.
It definitely felt like we were looking for a needle in a haystack.
So Dylan used ZipRecruiter. He posted his job, ZipRecruiter sent it to over 100 top job sites, and then matched his job with qualified candidates.
We were very impressed with how quickly we had quality candidates apply through ZipRecruiter. It's very important that we choose the right people, and ZipRecruiter's been able to help us do that.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/golf.
Searching for a beach vacation? Find it at Vrbo. They search millions of homes to find you the perfect beach house, where you all find your own rooms and some quality time to find out about each other. From beach houses to cabins to condos, travel better together with Vrbo.
Bob, you're a single, right? I can place you with that group.
Nice Skechers.
Get comfortable with Skechers Go
Bye,
Golf.
Bob. Same time
Take
next
your
week.
comfort game to the next level.
I love you.
Kids came down, saved lives, died fighting alongside men he never even knew.
But he never got the medal. Why not?
It was a battle they tried to cover up.
I told him to get back.
What was it? What happened?
He was a hero they tried to ignore.
You shouldn't even have been there. None of us should.
What are you talking about?
Now,
Information was removed.
You had no idea what you were starting.
the truth will come out.
There are worse things that can happen to a man than getting killed in a war.
The Last Full Measure, rated R.
Hello, I'm Dan Towers, President and CEO of Group 1001. Thank you for watching the Gainbridge LPGA at Boca Rio. I hope you enjoy the incredible display of 108 of the world's best golfers competing at the beautiful Boca Rio Golf Club here in Palm Beach County. Boca Rio celebrates the tradition of the game of golf in a magnificent setting right here in the heart of South Florida. At Gainbridge and Group 1001, we believe that education and sports have the power to transform lives. Through sports mentorship, STEM education, and playing field rehabilitation, we believe we can make an impact for generations of athletes and students to come. We would like to thank the LPGA, Boca Rio Golf Club, our sponsors, and the hundreds of volunteers who have helped make this inaugural event an incredible success. And of course, the fans and players who have made this week so exciting. We are thrilled to see the talented women of the LPGA teed up once again in the Palm Beaches of South Florida.
Glad to be here in Boca Raton. Angela Stanford on the tee at 15.
As Karen mentioned, into the wind on this hole on a long golf course. This one not a very wide fairway. Good start to it, though.
You mentioned the marathon travel. How about the marathon that Angela's planning on running?
In L.A.
In L.A., March 8th, I believe. Xu Yulin for a birdie at the 17th. She had a good day today. Was 4 under par, top of the leaderboard. Dropped a shot at the 14th. In fact, she dropped 2 shots there. It was a double bogey. So she's back on 2 under. But still a good round. Nelly Korda back up the green here. Great look at birdie. Maybe the best look from this distance you could get on the green. to get it to 3 under. Yeah. Oh, no. Just a bit of movement. And read too much into it.
Seems to me, Tom, I don't know, when I was a kid, and so not that many years ago, that all young people were good putters. And now it seems like, I don't know if there's too much thought put into it or what it is, but we see a lot of young people who struggle with the putter.
Here's a young person. Let's see if Yui Kawamoto struggles with the putter. 5 wins on the Japan LPGA Tour, just 21 years old.
Well, and one thing to note about a player who comes from Japan is the greens are quite different. The greens are generally not quite as slick and smooth as they are here.
High socks came in handy yesterday. It was chilly.
Today is a completely different day than yesterday.
All right, let's talk about the course setup. It's brought to you by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. Robert Von Hagee, this design in the late 60s.
Yeah, and Bermuda grass everywhere, a lot of different versions of Bermuda grass, but great fairways from which to play. The ball sits beautifully. A little bit of grain in the greens, but that is just the norm with Bermuda grass in here in Florida.
You knew Bob, didn't you? He was a dashing
I did know.
character.
But when I knew him, he was Bob Hagee, and as his reputation grew in the design business, he became Robert Von Hagee.
Thinking of adding that to my Grant Von Boom.
Yes.
How would that sound? A little more exotic. Tom Von Abbott, 15.
No, I don't think they need it. Maybe you want to
You're already
put the Von
exotic
in.
enough.
Yeah, put the Von in if you want.
We just call him Sir Tom.
Sir Tom.
There we go. One day maybe they might have to donate a lot more money to charity to get that. Danielle Kang here with her second.
160 straight into the wind. Course is set up quite long today, and with the softer conditions, playing very long.
Yeah, Jerry, I spoke to a few people before coming to the booth today, and caddies and players, and they said the golf course really was playing pretty soft. But we just saw a tee shot from Angela Stanford that hit the ground running.
And that was into the wind. That was one of those piercing ball flights, too. That was a little surprise to me as well. That's drifting right again, a little bit of a wipe.
Yeah, similar result, similar shot to get the ball close to the hole and turn it into an easy par.
Ball striking tends to be her strength. And we will go ahead to the 16th.
And Karen, what does Carlota Saganda have here?
Well, she's got 117 to the hole. I mean, just really well placed strategically for her. She laid up to a really good spot in the fairway, chose not to bring any of the bunkers into play. And I feel like, looking at Johnny Scott now as her caddy, I spoke to him. He said this is just a long-term thing for them. And I think it's quite a good fit. He used to caddy for Laura Davies. And he said to me that it's just like going back in time to when he caddied for Laura with how far Carlota hits it.
Well, she just stacks million-dollar seasons on top of one another and rarely misses cuts. But as you say, Judy, a couple of great opportunities the last few years to win, and just one hole often. What's the difference?
2 par 3s on the front and 2 par 3s on the back. 13 and 17 on the back side. Kawamoto, who came through the Q Series, finished 6th on the JLPGA Tour money list last year, and 9th at the Q Series, which is the LPGA's qualifying tournament. It's an 8-round extravaganza. Played at Pinehurst. And that's pretty good, right at it. The bunker today protects that flag a little bit. There's quite a bit of green between the bunker and the flagstick, but she went right at it. And we go back over to the 15th and the second shot for Angela Stanford.
158 to the hole for Angela, going with 6-iron. She does have that ability to keep it low, which she did right there. Piercing ball flight again.
Has a bit of release on it. So Stanford will have a putt for birdie to get it to 3 under par. Played well in the early stages last week. Nice opening round at the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions for Stanford after struggling in 2019. Remember, she had that rib injury at the beginning of the season and really affected her play all year.
Today's coverage is brought to you by Gainbridge, a smarter way to protect and grow savings. Consumer Cellular, where low rates and award-winning service are just the beginning. Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable. And by the Symetra Tour, Road to the LPGA.
Bob, you're a single, right? I can place you with that group.
Nice Skechers.
Get comfortable with Skechers Go
Bye,
Golf.
Bob. Same time
Take
next
your
week.
comfort game to the next level.
I love you.
I don't know why I love you, but I do. I don't.
Everything your trip needs for everyone you love. Expedia.
What's that? A traditional wedge has you stuck in the sand again? Why do you keep wasting stroke after stroke trying to get out of difficult lies with your narrow-soled traditional wedge?
Oh, see, there you go.
Not very good. Now you don't have to. Introducing the incredible C3i Wedge. See more at c3iwedge.com. The C3i's technologically advanced AutoGlide Extreme 2.0 sole will help you cut through any lie in the sand easily and effectively without digging. Doesn't matter if you're facing a fried egg, hard pan, uneven lies, or high lips. With the extremely forgiving sole of your new C3i Wedge, you'll swing with confidence knowing you have the right tool to get out of any bunker. Woo! Stop struggling in the sand and start getting out of greenside bunkers. Go to c3iwedge.com today. That's c3iwedge.com.
I grew up in a small town in New Mexico. My mother worked 3 jobs to support our family. She is still the strongest person I know. I started playing golf at 15. People saw potential and took a chance on me. I earned a scholarship, a degree, and later my LPGA Tour card. I'm a wife, a mother, and an athlete. Where you come from doesn't limit where you can go. I'm so proud of you.
Back on the 15th hole, and Imby Park from the bunker.
Uphill lie into a little breeze. Green slopes toward her a bit. Not the toughest bunker shot, but that has not been her strong suit of late. Dropped way down on that stat last year, but a beauty there.
Yeah, that'll help. And we'll go ahead to the 16th once again.
And a birdie putt for Saganda.
Well, I'm a little disappointed to not have a realistic birdie putt here. This one from long range, breaking to the right.
You'd expect to be a little closer with how close she was with the third shot. Tied for second, back to 15.
This was just a moment ago, Angela Stanford's birdie try.
Yeah, turning right. Not many people get to this tee thinking birdie, but this is a good chance.
Just drifting away.
Had to be a little defensive because the green runs away just past the hole.
That was a moment ago. She would tap in for a 4. So remains at 2 under with 3 holes to play. And that's the ball of Danielle Kang.
She played another nice pitch to here. This one not as close as the previous hole, but still not much to it. A little bit uphill, maybe just right of center.
Well, it may be a new decade, but nothing has changed with Danielle Kang in the putter, that little lift up before the stroke.
Didn't really have much of an off-season. Danielle's working hard on her game, practicing out in Las Vegas.
How was Patty Tavatanakit's 2019? All-American college at UCLA, then basically spots the Symetra Tour half a season and comes out, wins 3 times, finishes second on the money list, and here she is in her first event as a member of the LPGA Tour.
Yeah, nerves appear to be getting her today, don't they?
Yeah, she looks terrified, doesn't she? All right, this is Brittany Lincecum, one of the 8 Floridians in the field.
Well, she took on a bit more risk with her layup and put it into a tight spot on the fairway and was rewarded with that birdie.
Just her second event back since having little baby Emery last July. It was an emergency delivery. She was in Chicago at a Pro-Am event. And all is well with little Emery. Well, this is our tournament overview. One of 4 events in Florida last week in Central Florida. A couple more coming up after this week. 8 players like Brittany from Florida. 6 of the top 10 of the world rankings are here. And this week is the 70th anniversary of the first event of the LPGA's history. January 22nd, 1950, Polly Riley, an amateur, was the winner. And this area, Boca, South Florida, is so rich with golf history and with golf personalities. Like Bob Toski, your first teacher, Judy, and you had a chance to reunite with him, and Jerry Foltz.
I hope they didn't hear that.
And Bob and you all sat down to reunite and reminisce a little bit yesterday on the range here at Boca Rio.
I know.
Mark McCormick is the person who set me up with Bob Toski.
You remember the lesson you took from me?
At the Country Club of Miami.
And your grip was strong?
My grip was more than strong.
And I asked you, do you intend to change your grip? And you said, if you try to change my grip, I'm going home in the next plane. And I asked you to try to hit a cut shot or straight shot, and you said you
can't do that.
Went to the pro shop, and I called the superintendent, and we're going to play this hole. I said, put the flagstick over the corner of this bunker, because we were going from south to north, and the wind was coming from the east. And I remember you were in the middle of the fairway, and you hit a wood club, and you hooked it. Naturally, you bounced over the green.
Yes.
And I asked you if you could fade the ball. And you said you didn't know how.
I said I couldn't. He taught me how to feel making the ball spin this way. And it was as much the picture that I got and watching him do it, because he was and is quite the shot maker, that gave me the ability to move the ball the other way without changing my grip.
Well, I want to tell you, she's probably the best student I've ever had. Look at what she's done with her body and her golf swing and her golf grip. And I love her.
Thank you.
She's something else.
Thank you.
That was a special time with a special man, wasn't it, Judy?
Yeah, very much so. I was 18 years old when I met Bob Toski, and he was the first person really that had a significant role in my golf game other than my father, and taught me a lot. And I think a lot of things that I may try to explain even these days, the root of much of that is things he taught me.
93 years young. All right, let's send it down to Jerry Foltz.
Thank you so much. Walking along the, what hole is this, 16th hole with Angela Stanford. You recently announced you're training for a marathon. The question that comes to most people's mind is, why?
Why? Well, growing up, I played a bunch of different sports, and running was always hard. It's just something I feel like I got to do to see if I can do it. And I haven't really had a lot of time being out here for 20 years to train for one. I finally had some time this off season, so I started training.
How's the training going?
We're getting to the tough stretch. I have 2 long runs before the marathon on the 8th, so March 8th. So February might be kind of tough, but if I'm alive March 1st, I'll make it.
Are you noticing a little different pop in your golf swing because of this training?
I feel like my legs are stronger for sure. My legs haven't been this strong since probably 2009. So I feel more stable out here, but a lot of it's just been the work that Todd and I have done this off season. So the legs help, though.
The marathon is one ambitious goal. Another one you have stated is qualifying for the Olympic team, which would take some incredible play between now and then. Are you as motivated, if not more motivated now than you've ever been?
Super motivated. Last year was, I say, the worst year I've ever had out here. It really bothered me. So I'm pretty motivated. And the marathon was part of that. I needed to find out kind of what I'm made of, you know? I mean, I wanted to find out. So I'm finding out.
We'll be rooting for you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks. Yeah.
And she does feel rejuvenated with Todd Kolb up there in South Dakota as we take you out to the 17th.
This is a lovely little par 3. You can see the water down the right side. Carlota Segunda.
Primarily plays a fade, Tom, so she's going to have to start this one a bit left, which is what she's done. Nice high shot.
Yes.
Nice result.
Yeah, right into the heart of the green. 18th in greens in regulation on the tour last year. 74.12% of greens hit in 2019 on the LPGA for Segunda. This is the 9th hole for Patti Tavatanakit. And what an incredible start it has been to Patti's LPGA Tour career. That one coming up a little shy, but it's going to be uphill to the hole. No drop shots so far, and looking to end the round as the leader. Another rookie here, Kawamoto for birdie, and to tie the lead. Just ran out of pace. Patti, of course, coming off the Symetra Tour where she finished second. We talked about Kawamoto and the fact that she played on the tour last year in Japan.
Finishing up, Shiyu Lin. She's taken Janet as her American name. A win late last year at the Women's China Open. And a good start on this par 72 to the 9th.
And the 3rd for Patti Tavatanakit, being bold with that, trying to get some stop on it. Well, I talked to her on the range on Tuesday, and I agree with you, Judy. There wasn't a hint of nerves. She seemed very excited to get out and to compete and play. And why wouldn't you when you came through the collegiate system at UCLA, decided to turn pro after the season, and then played so well on the Symetra Tour to earn her card?
This is my headquarters. This is where I trade and manage my portfolio. Since I added futures, I have access to the oil markets and gold markets. Okay. I'm plugged into equities, trade confirmed. And I have global access 24/7, meaning I can do what I need to do. Then I can focus on what I want to do. Visit your online broker today to learn more.
Can we just order a pizza?
Ready, done.
How'd you order so fast? Okay, so we should start shopping right now.
Why are you guys playing the same game? La 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 la. How is this not bugging you? How did you find such a cool place to stay?
The idea, in its purest form, is doing something for someone and expecting nothing in return. As an F-16 pilot and PGA golf professional, I turned to the golf community to begin this mission, to help the families of fallen and disabled service members. For me, golf has been directly connected to every significant moment in my life. We could never give back to the game what it has given to us.
The Golf Advisor Golfer's Choice List are in. The country's best courses, according to you. Top 50. Best value. Best short courses. Even the best collegiate courses. Plus, our editors have made their choices too, giving you insight into the experts' top courses. Make your plans for the whole year at golfadvisor.com/golfer's choice today. Presented by Ogio.
Verity is back.
With as many years as I've spent on television, there are very few things that surprise me anymore. Except for the fact that I'm still on television.
Verity returns for his 10th season, presented by Farmers Insurance. Monday, February 24th on Golf.
Back at the par 3 17th, where Carlota Segunda has this to tie the lead.
It's a tough putt, Tom. It's going to break to the right, downhill.
Easing it down there and just missing on the left side. It'll be a tap in 3. She will remain at 3 under, heading to the 18th. Just a short walk. The golf course is pretty compact here. Short walks between greens and tees. No excuse for slow play. They should be getting round here in a prompt amount of time. Back over to the 9th, and Patty Tavatanakit to finish her first round as a fully fledged LPGA Tour member. And what a wonderful start it has been to her LPGA Tour career. This to finish it off for a bogey-free round of 68. Great day, great morning for Patty Tavatanakit, born in Bangkok in Thailand, now lives in the California area, spends quite a bit of time in the Orlando area as well, where she's been practicing ahead of this week. Just 20 years of age.
At the par 5 16th, this is Georgia Hall to get to 3 under. What a star, Judy, she was at the Solheim Cup for the winning Europeans.
Yeah, no doubt. She has got some kind of great golf game. I think we thought she would explode after she won the Women's British Open at Lytham a couple of years ago. Not quite the explosion we looked for.
That was a moment ago, and now Stanford's third, Jerry.
Yeah, that was a pitching wedge after a little bit of a miscue on the layup. Thought that would jump a bit, but not a bad shot.
'17 again.
Brittany Lindstrom should have learned something from Carlota.
Oh, definitely. Very similar line, Tom. I think you give a player that kind of an assist, really do need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, she's won a couple of majors. She knows what she's doing out there. Has struggled today, but birdie helps.
At the 16th, third shot on this par 5 for Danielle Kang.
Yeah, laid it up in the bunker. Narrow fairway here on your layup. Only 97 yards, though. Just have to catch this ball first and not catch it thinly. Sounded a little steep, and it's going right.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
Weird little stretch for Danielle, who looked so solid last week. Couple of missed iron shots as we go to 17.
And Georgia Hall on the tee. Turned away as though she didn't like it, but it's maybe not the best strike, but safely aboard the green.
Giant green, 52 paces from the front to the back at 17.
Yeah, there's really no excuse for hitting it into the water today, although there have been a couple of mistakes. And we'll go to the tee at the 18th.
And we're getting a look from behind this tee, Karen, and how the clubhouse and the bunkers and this water on the right frame this 18th.
They do, and it's more intimidating today than I think the players would like. It's playing quite heavily back into the wind. And I think with Carlotta's natural fade, she's going to have to sort of take it down the left side, challenge those bunkers, and let it drift back towards the middle of the fairway.
Well, that left-hand fairway bunker is definitely in play. I would have thought without the wind in her face, Carlota could easily get beyond it. But I think with the wind in her face, that bunker might be in play even for her with her length.
And she can carry the ball. I would say probably in the air with the driver at probably 250, and then plus whatever roll she gets, she might even have gained a bit of distance on that, because looking at the way she's hitting it today, she's just pummeling it.
Yeah, she would have carried that bunker even into the wind. Average last year on the tour, 272 yards.
Katrina Matthews sent her out first on those Sunday singles at the Solheim Cup. She got a big point, big reason why Europe was victorious. Looking to win the first time in 2016.
The heart of a Spaniard, you know.
Ah, yes. It's a good place for it here at Boca Rio.
Who will start this bidding at 100 guilders, looking for 100.
In 1637,
I'll bid you my house. Sold.
a tulip was worth more than a house, until it wasn't. no matter the market, and up to a 4% return guaranteed.
I want more. Give me more.
Tulip Mania
Tulip prices hit rock bottom.
was the first market crash.
Get out. Go on.
In these uncertain times, you can count on Gainbridge.
Whoa, what kind of club is that?
This is a Ping Callaway Titleist TaylorMade Mizuno Cleveland 9-iron wedge putter driver hybrid. Fully customized, secondswing.com. They have the largest selection of new and used clubs. Trade in your old gear and save big on your next purchase.
What an easy upgrade.
Ooh, what about your driver?
Shop in-store or online at secondswing.com.
Oh, your mom just texted. She's landed, and she's on her way to our house.
What? I thought she was coming next weekend.
I got it. Alexa, start the coffee. Set the temperature to 72. Start Roomba.
We got this.
Don't look.
What? It's Mom. Mom.
The Lexus ES. Eagerly prepared for the unexpected.
Lease the 2020 ES 350 for $389 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Tiger Woods chases the all-time PGA Tour win record at one of his favorite hunting grounds as Justin Rose defends his title at the Farmers Insurance Open. Watch now on PGA Tour Live and 2 p.m. on Golf.
Get more with Golf Pass. More savings on tee times, travel, and gear. More world-class instruction and exclusive new shows. Join now and get 1 dozen TaylorMade golf balls. More golf. One pass, Golf Pass. Start your 7-day free trial now.
Birdie putt for Danielle Kang at 16.
Yeah, down in the valley today, just turning a little right from there. Angela Stanford putted first for birdie and gunned it well past.
Danielle from California. Thanks for home in Vegas. You're from the Midwest. Did it take you a while to get used to Florida golf?
You know, to this day, I would tell you I'm not, I'm a little weak at reading grain and Bermuda greens because I grew up on bent grass.
Georgia Hall to tie the lead. She spent a little time at Bay Hill prior to the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions last week, getting used to the Florida grass.
And here is Yui Kawamoto, 9th at the LPGA's Q Series. Last fall, it's the second year of that 8-round crucible called Q Series. And look at her. She's look how nervous they are, Judy.
Yeah.
To have a Tanakit and Kawamoto first events as members.
Young players come from another tour or from the Symetra Tour or from college. Nelly Korda would be one.
Yeah, she had a great tee shot at 17, but that's another missed opportunity. It's a couple of we've seen from Nelly that she would have wanted to go in.
Yeah, Nelly Korda came from the Symetra Tour to this tour. But as a result of all the competition they've played in and their brushes with the LPGA Tour, they come here ready.
Yeah. Her sister Jessica will play this afternoon. We go back to 16 at NB Park.
Needs something good to happen here. Uphill, turning a little left, mostly just for her peace of mind. She's not having fun right now. Coming off a great week last week, that will help.
And she had the 2-shot lead going into Sunday's final round. Struggled a bit, especially early. Fought back, birdied 16 to get into a tie, lost in the playoff. She was eliminated after the 3rd hole. It wound up going 7, and Gabby Lopez emerged victorious over Nasahata Oka. And here's a great look at what Carlota is staring down at 18.
Well, she's got 162 yards. She's got a 6-iron. She's on a downslope, so this ball will come out a bit lower, but the ball is above her feet. So that will kind of sort of straighten out the natural fade that she does have. So I think when the ball hits the green, it'll stop. This one is right at the flag. If it's a good yardage.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, very good shot.
So she'll have that to join the leaders at 4 under. All right, here's that putt that Angela raced past at 16.
This should go just a little right. Be a huge save. Nice.
So TCU Horned Frog salvages par. Well, don't miss Tiger Woods as his chase for number 83 commences at a place where, as memory serves, he's had a little bit of success. Torrey Pines, Farmers Insurance Open, coverage today. Phil Mickelson, Ricky Fowler as well. Can't wait to see that as we take you from one coast to the other. What a start for Patty Tavatanakit. Collegiate All-America last year, then turned pro, then won 3 times on the Symetra Tour. Now in her first start as a rookie, has the lead. Yui Kawamoto from Japan, another rookie. Georgia Hall, terrific. Siganda's got a putt. They're coming from all over the world, Judy, as they have been for so many years, populating our LPGA leaderboards.
Back down to the tee at the 17th and Inbee Park.
Inbee going with 7-iron. Wind from the left. Can't feel it on the tee. Really feels like it swirls out here a lot. All these holes are tree lined. That was safely pulled.
Yeah, it's not a bad shot to pull it today, with that wind pushing the ball towards the water. Race to the CME Globe is back in 2020, heading towards the CME Group Tour Championship, the season-ending event where the top 60 players will qualify to play in Naples. So the top of this really isn't as important as further down, the further we get into the season, as players try to make the mark and qualify to play in an event where the first prize is $1.5 million. And of course, everyone that gets in has an equal chance to win. It really is an exciting week. Stanford's tee shot.
That too a 7-iron, maybe even a little more conservative.
Yeah, we'll have some movement on the putt from that side of the green, but it's a lot better than being the same distance to the right of the flag. I do hope that they stick the flag in that little pocket there that's just coming into view on Sunday. Really make it a Sunday hole location and challenge these players. A bit of risk and reward,
says the commentator.
Oh,
the player.
yeah,
Yes.
of course. Good for the viewers.
Tough one here for Danielle with that little breeze coming out of the left, and her bad iron shots since we've joined her have all been wiped to the right. 7-iron as well.
Yeah, not a time to do that.
Well, this is pretty much right at it. Right at it.
Yeah, lovely shot. One of the best we've seen from Danielle Kang. And a putt to get it to 2 under on a day where she hasn't had her best. That's the sign of quality. J. Marie Green just starting her round, lives about 45 minutes away, and she's staying at her parents' house, which is just a very short distance away from here. Back in her old bedroom where she grew up. Said it's kind of strange staying there and playing tournament golf, but brings back some good memories.
All right, so we go back to the par 5 10th, and Brooke Henderson. She and Brittany and folks have a winter place on the other side of Florida, Naples. This is hole number 1 for them today, the par 5 10th, and a chance to get going on the right foot.
First tee time today was 7:15 in the morning, and it was very still. I think there were 2 to 3 hours that were very still, but we had fierce wind here yesterday, and the wind is certainly starting to kick up now. Brooke Henderson's one of the players that I would always put on my list of good wind players. She's won several times in windy locations, Hawaii, one time in New Zealand when it was ferocious again. So she's near the top of my list on good wind players.
Here is Saganda, and looking at a putt to tie the lead. Karen?
And this is one of the few putts that I've seen Carlotta have that wants to move a little bit to the left. Most of her putts have moved to the right. So I think for right-handed golfers, this is a more comfortable putt to face. And really pretty flat for speed. She's got a good line on this from caddy Johnny Scott. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to see her make this one. She does tend to want to die the ball in the hole. So putts that tend not to break too much, and this one doesn't have much break, I think she has a much better chance of making.
She's been a left-hand low putter as long as I have known her.
Good start. 3 under par 69, round 1. Our first event of 2020. Won over $5 million in the last few years.
At the 11th, MJ Her for a birdie, just starting her round. Remember, 63 on Sunday last week. That included 10 birdies, and she keeps the birdies going. She only missed the playoff by 1 shot at the Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions. So MJ's in some really good form. A couple of wins last season. Go over to the 17th. Long birdie putt for Angela Stanford.
And you mentioned it, a fair bit of movement from the left.
Trying to ease it down there. Very good judge of speed there from Angela. Jane Marie Green, one of the locals, along with Morgan and Madison Pressel. They'll get a lot of support here this week. Didn't like that one. Back over at the 15th. This is the second shot for Kawamoto. Freeze there, just holding the ball up.
Yeah, this 15th is played at least early in this tournament as the second hardest hole on the golf course, so pretty good test.
Kawamoto, one of a group of young Japanese players that they're very excited about in Japan at the moment.
Friction points. Those obstacles that limit a company's growth. I try to find companies that turn these challenges into opportunities. But by going out in the field and meeting management, suppliers, competitors, in the end, it's these unique companies with creative business models that will generate value for our investors. That's why I go beyond the numbers.
Improve your game with every swing. Track your performance with accurate, real-time feedback. Play championship courses anytime, rain or shine, day or night. SkyTrack, the affordable professional-grade launch monitor and simulator, designed for the pro in all of us.
A quick question for you. Do you make more consistent contact when putting or chipping? I'm going to guess you said putting, and there's an obvious reason for that. The putting stroke is the simplest motion in golf. So doesn't it make sense that you'd be a much better chipper if you could use your putting stroke? Now you can with the new Square Strike Wedge. This ingenious club is designed to be swung just like a putter, with a wrist-free pendulum stroke that's much easier to control than a traditional chipping motion. With the Square Strike Wedge, you just set up square and stroke it like a putt, then watch the ball make a beeline to the hole. These golfers can tell you how effective it is.
Well, with the Square Strike and the putting stroke, it didn't take really hardly any time at all to get used to that. Then the other thing about it is, once you've gotten that, and I had some success out there, I know I'm going to go up with the same stroke on the next club. So it's a great transition.
To turn every chip shot into a gimme, go to squarestrikevideo.com. That's squarestrikevideo.com.
How quickly can you book a tee time on Golf Now? Well, let's just say you'll be done before lunch is.
Book around anytime in seconds at the #1 place to book tee times. Golf now. Go play.
Back with Danielle Kang here at the 17th for a birdie. Oh, Danielle. Well, these greens are subtle. We've seen it so far in our coverage. That they're not hugely undulating, but just little breaks that are catching players out. And we'll go to the 10th.
Well, here is the highest ranked player from Japan as we see young Yui Kawamoto. It should be pointed out that Nasa herself is just 21 years old and already in her 4th season out here.
Yeah, and she is she's a tough player. I'm going to tell you, she is talented and she is driven.
Speaking of driving and driving on, this was announced yesterday. The Golf Writers Association of America has honored LPGA Commissioner Mike Whan with the William D. Richardson Award for contributions to golf. That'll be presented the week of the Masters. Who else has won that Richardson Award? Judy Rankin, 1999?
Thank you very much.
Long overdue at that point. Ben Hogan, Byron Nelson among the others who've won that honor. So congratulations to Mike as he starts his 2nd decade as the commissioner. It's not an easy job, as we know, and I think his approval rating is
way
about
high.
as high as it can be.
Way high.
For a commissioner of a sport.
That's right.
Georgia Hall is 1 shot off the lead as she finishes up round 1.
Oh, beautiful.
And he finished with a birdie. Memorable day at Royal Lytham, wasn't it? A couple of summers ago. And she won the AIG Women's British Open. Father on the bag at the time.
Kawamoto here for a birdie. Did have 1 win last year on the JLPGA Tour. Be quite something if she started her LPGA Tour career with a win. But Hanako Shibuno did a similar thing, didn't she, at the AIG Women's British Open when she made her first trip out of Japan, save 1 visit to Thailand that she'd had. She'd never been outside of the country and came over to a golf course that wasn't familiar, a country that wasn't familiar, and ended up winning. We saw Carlota Saganda put together that 69. She is with Karen.
Thanks, Tom and Carlota. First tournament of the year. How important is it to you to get off to a good start?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's always good to start playing good, especially in a course here in Florida. No bogeys. I thought that was really good. I played very solid, hit lots of greens, made some good putts, and yeah, very happy with my first round of the year.
And looking at the golf course, you've just noted how the wind has just started to pick up. Is that going to be much more of a challenge for the players playing this afternoon?
I think for sure. I mean, the first 12, 13 holes, it was practically perfect. No wind. It was really nice to play golf. And now I think with the wind picking up, I mean, 1 under, 2 under in the afternoon, I think it's a great round. And for sure, I mean, first week of the year, first tournament, it's always tougher.
I talked with your coach a little bit last year about making small gains on your golf game. What kind of small gains are you looking to make this year?
I want to improve my routine. I mean, it's something that I've been working and I want to work. I want to play a little faster. I want to be more committed to the shots. I've been trying to do that. I think once I get up there, sometimes I get slower and I would like to play a bit quicker. And I mean, the swing, I think it's good. Just have to trust it more, keep practicing, keep playing. And I think once I keep playing and going through the year, I think it's all good.
Well, thanks for your time and good luck the rest of the week.
Thank you. Thanks.
Boy, how often do you hear a player say, I am going to try to play faster. I'm working on that. That is really refreshing.
Ann Van Dam for birdie at 16. Last year was a rookie on the LPGA Tour and really struggled early. Talked to her as she was making her way through her first season, and she said, I feel like I'm just a little bit out of place. I need to figure out how to work my way around these golf courses a little better. Of course, it was the first time seeing them for her. Nasa to start her round with a birdie. She hit the same club all 8 times last week on the 18th, the par 3 18th in regulation, and all 7 playoff holes. Lost to Gabby Lopez on the 7th playoff hole. Off to a good start here. We're just a few miles from the beach. We're headed there after the show, Judy, right?
It's going to have to warm up just a touch.
You met on an app. Delete it.
Why?
He's the one.
Huh?
Gesundheit. I see something else. A star with 3 points. You're in a Mercedes.
Yeah, we wish.
Wish granted. With 4 models starting under $37,000, there could be a Mercedes-Benz in your near future. Lease the GLA 250 SUV for just $319 a month with credit toward your first month's payment.
Great shot, Bryson. How can I improve my game?
Yeah, well, I practice with a purpose using FlightScope. And luckily, now there's one for you. FlightScope Mevo. You want to give it a try?
Are you serious?
It uses 3D Doppler radar, sends data to your phone, and it even talks.
248 yards.
Are you serious?
FlightScope Mevo. Super portable, super accurate, and under $500. Go to flightscopemevo.com and use promo code FS50.
Are you serious?
Social media has a way of making things look so easy. But people don't realize the hard work that goes with it. My parents moved us to California when I was in middle school to give me a better opportunity. I take it all very seriously. It's all about what you do with it. Golf has given me lots of opportunities. I'm very grateful for that.
Get more of golf's best with Golf Pass. Play more with Golf Now Tee Time credits at over 9,000 great courses. More instruction with world-class lessons from the game's best instructors. More entertainment with new Golf Pass originals and classics. And more travel deals and golf gear at members-only prices. Join now and get a dozen tailor-made golf balls with an annual membership. More golf. One pass, Golf Pass. Start your 7-day free trial now.
Verity is back.
With as many years as I've spent on television, there are very few things that surprise me anymore. Except for the fact that I'm still on television.
Verity returns for his 10th season, presented by Farmers Insurance. Monday, February 24th on Golf.
Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour welcome you back to Boca Raton. Boca Rio Golf Club hosting the Gainbridge LPGA at Boca Rio. Grant Boone, Judy Rankin, Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, Karen Stupples, our entire crew. The Spaniard, Carlota Segunda, all pars on the front 9, then a birdie at 10, that birdie at 11. She would birdie the 12th as well to shoot 69. First start on the LPGA Tour for a rookie from Japan, Yui Kawamoto. Making it look easy. A winner on the Japan LPGA Tour, and another rookie, Patty Tavatanakit from Thailand, went to UCLA, an All-America performer there for the Bruins. Continue to pump out all the great players. At the 18th just a moment ago. And a par putt for Georgia Hall. Bit of a disappointment, so still good start. 2 under par 70. She played last week at the winners only Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions, which is for winners of the previous 2 years. She won 2 years ago. And that was a moment ago, and we are now back in the fairway. A little left of it for Danielle Kang's second shot. Jerry Foltz is there.
Yeah, absolutely. 172 is probably playing 180. Yeah.
Got Danielle at 183 all the way back to that hole. Little uphill lie in the bunker and dead into that increasing breeze. This is not a fun shot. Going with a hybrid. It's so tough to catch this cleanly.
Well, she has to take it out right at the flagstick, doesn't she, Jerry?
Yes. cut it thinly, hit the lip, and that's going to be probably close to 100 yards remaining.
Could have been a worse bounce.
Going out like to the left edge of the tower?
Yeah. Actually, this I can just go right at it, because I think it's going to fade a little bit.
All right, I like that.
Listening to the exchange, Angela Stanford and her caddy. 20th year on tour for Angela.
This only 173, little bit of an uphill lie into that wind. This is 7-wood. This is one heck of a hole today. NB Park had to hit 3-wood and didn't get it there. Beauty.
Yeah, wonderful shot there from Angela Stanford. My sense is that Angela Stanford knows a little bit more about her golf swing these 20 years later than she did in the previous 20. She has really become a student of the golf swing.
They're falling iguanas here in South Florida, but that was a horned frog sign she just gave
That was
us.
a TCU horned frog, and those of us who live anywhere near Fort Worth know the symbol.
Well, you can get more with Golf Pass. More tee time credits, more original shows, and more travel deals. 7-day free trial. More golf, one pass. Golf Pass. We're at the 17th now. All right, well, is it Ann Van Dam or her caddy Roloff? Jerry Foltz helps us find out who's really in control. Presented by National Car Rental.
Ann Van Dam, the long hitter from the Netherlands, and her caddy and friend, Roloff Koopmans. Close? Roloff. All right. We have 10 questions. We've got rid of the clock, but we do have a slow play penalty to be determined later. So you're on the clock.
Okay.
First question, are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
You ready? Sweet. And what's the longest drive you've ever hit?
I don't know exactly, probably close to 330.
350. That's pretty good. I've seen them that long out of you. Your favorite vacation spot, according to Roloff?
Oh, I have a few, but I promised him if I can take him somewhere where we haven't been yet, it'll be the Maldives.
You got it right. Very good.
Ooh,
very good.
That was nice.
All right. You swam competitively growing up. Which event was your best event?
Freestyle.
He
Or
said
distance as well.
Butterfly.
Both.
Your favorite food from the Netherlands?
We have a few traditional foods, but when we get home, I think he's going to say his mom's macaroni.
That's
because
exactly
it's the
what
best.
he said.
Yes.
Very good.
It's really good.
Your best moment in golf?
Best moment in golf? Winning the Solheim Cup with Team Europe.
You guys are killing it.
Easy.
All right, we're at a minute already. We're going to keep going. Your parents are both pilots.
Yeah.
What's the longest flight you've ever taken?
I would say Abu Dhabi to Melbourne, 12 hours.
12 hours. He said 15. Favorite thing to do off the course?
Eat.
He said play pickleball.
Pickleball, yeah.
I guess if it weren't a ball, you could eat it. The most starstruck you've ever been on the golf course?
Probably with Suzanne, playing with Suzanne Pedersen.
He said Arnie, the king.
Yeah.
Arnie. And what is the most important number to you on a TrackMan?
Carry.
Carry, got it right. What do you say most frequently after a bad shot? Check out his.
Yeah, probably. I can say it in Dutch. Yeah, pretty good.
Oh, really? Well?
We just know each other very well. Not too bad. We did well. Yeah.
Well, that was a Dutch treat. And what's the worst thing you've ever said on the golf course, Judy?
I don't think anybody wants to reveal the worst thing they ever said.
Judy never says bad things about anybody or anything. Here is Ann Van Dam off the back of her performance. Let's see if she can make this one. Yeah, just fooling players with the subtlety of these greens. Well designed. It's a very nice golf course, this. Go to 16.
Here's the rookie from Japan, Yui Kawamoto.
We've seen a lot of balls end up right there. There's a little misjudgment in getting it all the way back to that hole location.
No one wants to go deep. And here is a great look at birdie on a tough hole.
Not going to see many like that one. That was uphill into the breeze as well, and the grain just ate it up. Standing back on the tee, though, she would have purchased a 4 for a fair bit of money.
Good start. 4 under leads it. 4 birdies at this 18th today, but that would have been when the wind was a little calmer.
I don't think that tally's going to change if this wind remains.
You know, I don't know who would agree amongst all of us, but I like a golf course that has a little bit of a gentle start, which this course starts with a par 5, lets you kind of, you know, take a breath and try to figure it out. And then I don't mind at all the finishing hole being very difficult. I think it makes for a good test.
Have you ever designed a golf course?
I have not.
What about the Judy?
Well, I did not design it, although it's a little par 3 course. It was not designed by me, I'm sorry to say.
Danielle Kang for par.
Yeah, she had 130 remaining for her third shot. Played a nice 9-iron to here. But this is slippery and turning right.
Just for the record, D.A. Wybring designed the Judy, and he did have several conversations with me.
Where is it, Judy?
It's a little par 3 course at Midland Country Club in Midland, Texas, and the members were more than kind to me to name it for me. So it's perfect golf for me right now. 9-hole par 3.
Not perfect, but pretty good for Patty Tavatanakit. She and the other rookie, Kawamoto, lead it.
I don't know why I love you, but I do.
Everything your trip needs for everyone you love. Expedia.
Winners play the best balls, the best clubs, and they know they need the most accurate yardage. Introducing SkyCaddy SX500. Brilliant 5-inch HD touchscreen, stunning visuals for instant distances. Preloaded with over 35,000 ground-mapped courses exclusive to SkyCaddy. Accuracy you can trust so you can play your best golf. The new SkyCaddy SX500. Nothing else comes close.
My son Andrew was always a joy to be around. I always taught him to be accepting of other people. That's why when Andrew was suddenly fired from his teaching job for being gay, my heart just broke. As a parent, how do you prepare your child for something like that? I hope we get to a place where people will be treated with respect, equality, and love.
Are you tired of missing almost every single putt? When was the last time you consistently made putts from 15, 10, even 3 feet? What if there was a way to stop missing those makeable putts and become automatic on the greens? Now there is. Introducing the brand new S7K standalone putter. Watch the video now at s7kputter.com. The S7K supports standalone address. This means you can address the ball, let go of the putter grip, and the putter stands by itself. This allows you to line up the putt from behind so your putter can always be lined up perfectly to your target. Imagine the confidence knowing 100% of the time that your alignment is perfect, without hours of practice, without a caddy, just by putting the amazing brand new S7K standalone putter in your bag. Watch the video now at s7kputter.com. That's s7kputter.com.
Bob, you're a single, right? I can place you with that group.
Nice Skechers.
Get comfortable with Skechers Go
Bye,
Go.
Bob. Same time
Take
next
your
week.
comfort game to the next level.
I love you.
Here's the first winner of 2020, Gabby Lopez, for birdie on her first hole of the week, the 10th. You gun them past the hole when you've already got a win under your belt, don't you? At the 16th, this is Kawamoto, and Karen Stepples is now following.
Yeah, and this is an outside chance again. It's going to break to the right, slippery down the hill. And that's got to take a seat.
Saw Angela Stanford run one way past here a moment ago. Made the comebacker. To the 11th.
And Stacey Lewis just starting her round for birdie. Nicely done. 1 under par through 2 holes. And we'll go to the 18th.
And this increasingly difficult into the wind par 4.
Play at least 75.
Okay, so 4 is plenty.
Yeah.
Arena Pillar.
Might have a little ride in it, so.
Just the guy in the black shirt?
Yeah.
That's what she's looking at here at this par 4.
Yeah, from the left side of the fairway, the only play is to carry it right over the bunker.
Very nice.
That's coveted on this green in 2. It's par 4, been tough. A lot of players having to lay up. And here are Ann and Roloff. I think this will go down as her longest drive ever.
Ja, nee, klopt, dit is zeker.
Can you find anything wrong with this swing, Judy?
No, it's a beautiful golf swing. She just has to learn how to make it score. But she is really a fun young woman. I hope she plays well because I want people to get to know her. Is that a little long and a little left?
Yeah. She's tough on herself. She expects a lot. She's a proven winner on the Ladies European Tour. There you go, right on cue. Here's the comeback par putt at 16 for Kawamoto.
And it is straight back up the hill. But I think it can be sort of quite a scary prospect when you've been going along quite nicely and all of a sudden you leave yourself with this for par after a very aggressive first putt. No problem at all.
Goodness. That might still be going if it hadn't hit the hole. What was that about the young nerves and the young players who were great putters? All of them?
That's right.
Seemed like it. You got your whole career out in front of you. What a fun time it is.
This is Lindsay Weaver at the 17th. Trying to ease it back towards the hole. Her 3rd year out on the LPGA Tour. The 27-year-old from Ohio had a good off-season. And big congratulations for Lindsay, who is getting engaged. Or has got engaged, is getting married. So
she met Mr. Wright.
She did meet Mr. Wright. He plays on the Corn Ferry Tour, so best of luck to the both of them. Lindsay 1 shot back. Christy Kerr's made a good start. 3 under through 3. Chasing the rookies. The veteran is chasing the rookies here in Boca.
How much for those?
For the tubes? He took all of them and doubled the price. I made a fortune.
Tulips. Tulips.
Who will start me off at 40 guilders?
60 guilder each.
200. 240. 260.
I want more. Give me more.
I've got it.
6,000. I'll bet you my house. Sold. Why is a tulip worth so much? It's a tulip.
Tulip prices in rock bottom. Tulip.
If only they had Gainbridge, they could have balanced risk with a straightforward high-rate annuity. Earn up to a 4% return guaranteed at Gainbridge.life.
No. Critics everywhere are falling for the gentleman.
So you killed someone?
No, it was the gravity that killed him.
Your boss started a war.
It's gonna get messy.
I'm gonna take it all.
It's warming up now, isn't it?
Deal with it.
I forgot to wash my hands. The Gentleman. Rated R. Tomorrow.
Secondswing.com has over 30,000 clubs. Golfers let go of great stuff every day. We get lots of drivers. Some barely used wedges. Like new putters. Perfectly good irons. Even complete sets sometimes. Come see our recent arrivals online or in store. You can trade up too at secondswing.com.
I went from a 15 handicap to a 10. Well, we did.
I added 10 yards to my irons. I had some help.
I finally got rid of my slice after all these years.
We got rid of my slice.
I became one of the world's top-ranked players.
And won $1 million.
Pia, are we charging her enough? We can help improve anyone's game. Ask for one of the over 1,700 certified LPGA teaching and club professionals.
Third shot, par 4 18th, and Van Dam.
It's a pretty nice play.
I was going to say, was it that easy? Still kicking herself and her clubs after that approach shot from the fairway. 17.
And Kawamoto, let's see how aggressive she gets here with this hole location.
Well, I think this one, Tom, is actually fairly safe towards the middle of the green, but good for distance, I believe.
Yeah, very good for distance. Lovely shot, good touch. A hole that measures 152 today. And back over to the 18th.
And this for just the 5th birdie of the day. At the 18th, Jelena Pillar.
Does she have that grip kind of braced against her left forearm? We'll have to take a closer look.
Brooke Henderson on the tee at the 13th. Needing a hybrid here. It's 196. Looks like she's trying to draw it in towards that flag, and that's a good shot. Yeah, back up to that closing hole.
And back after having a little baby boy last year, Sarah Jane Smith.
And she's another one that is obviously not a native Floridian, but now makes her home in Florida, so plays a lot of golf in this state and in similar conditions to this.
Said she dropped the little one off with her husband Dwayne there, her caddy, for the first time at daycare, and she said the baby was great. I was a mess as I took one step out the door. You get used to it.
Well,
we can tell her that as parents.
Yeah, but yeah, then you do the preschool thing, then the kindergarten thing. Every step is a little bit hard. By the time they go to high school, you're throwing, a little jacket at them and saying, "Behave yourself. I'll see you later."
All right, Anne Van Dam. She's won multiple times on the LET the last couple of years. Part of that victorious Solheim Cup team for Europe. Struggled in this area last year, getting up and down, scrambling. That's a beauty.
Yeah, good putt. Good par.
Go ahead and fist pump when you get it up and down. You'll remember that more than you'll maybe remember the iron shot that didn't go the way you wanted.
She shows her emotion a little bit, and it could be that a little bit of that emotion has to be kind of quelled for the talent to start shooting low numbers.
Sound like you might speak from experience. We'll delve into that as we go on.
A quick question for you. Do you make more consistent contact when putting or chipping? I'm going to guess you said putting, and there's an obvious reason for that. The putting stroke is the simplest motion in golf. So doesn't it make sense that you'd be a much better chipper if you could use your putting stroke? Now you can with the new Square Strike Wedge. This ingenious club is designed to be swung just like a putter, with a wrist-free pendulum stroke that's much easier to control than a traditional chipping motion. With the Square Strike Wedge, you just set up square and stroke it like a putt, then watch the ball make a beeline to the hole. These golfers can tell you how effective it is.
Well, with the square strike and the putting stroke, it didn't take really hardly any time at all to get used to that. Then the other thing about it is, once you've gotten that, and I had some success out there, I know I'm going to go up with the same stroke on the next club. So it's a great transition.
To turn every chip shot into a gimme, go to squarestrikevideo.com. That's squarestrikevideo.com.
We are everywhere. Teachers, storytellers, crusaders, and fans. Bonded by the passion we share. Taking our best shot, wherever it lies. And it is because of this wondrous game that our lives are not only enriched, but also forever connected.
No matter what you're looking for in a golf course, trust the best as chosen by golfers for golfers. Check out all of Golf Advisor's Golfer's Choice list at golfadvisor.com/golfer's choice. Presented by OGIO.
Back on the 11th with last week's winner, Gabby Lopez, although you could say this week because she won it on Monday morning.
This is the kind you try to chip in.
Not too far away. Second win on the LPGA for Gabby. And we will go over to the 12th.
And here's the woman she outlasted, Nasa Hataoka. This is her third hole of the day. Well, so much for feeling a little down about that playoff loss. 2 birdies in 3 holes.
Kawamoto for a birdie here.
It's got to break a bit more to the right, but she does have some lofty goals, Tom. She wants to get inside that top 15 in the world ranking to have a chance at playing for Japan in the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, she could get into the Olympics if she were outside of the top 15, but inside the top 15, they can take 4 players, a maximum of 4 players from each country.
There are 2 Japanese players inside the top 15 at the moment, Nasa and Hinako Shibuno. Here's Stacy Lewis, and what a start for Stacy. 2 birdies in her first 3 holes, 2 in a row. All right, Patty Tavatanakit, Yui Kawamoto, rookies each tied for the lead. The LPGA last year launched a phenomenal new promotional campaign called Drive On, and they introduced us yesterday to the latest installment. It profiles Jarena Pillar.
I grew up in a small town in New Mexico. My mother worked 3 jobs to support our family. She is still the strongest person I know. I started playing golf at 15. People saw potential and took a chance on me. I earned a scholarship, a degree, and later, my LPGA Tour card. I'm a wife, a mother, and an athlete. Where you come from doesn't limit where you can go.
I'm so proud of you.
Jarena is with Jerry Foltz. Jerry?
She is indeed. We're having a little conversation about growing up in Roswell. Jarena, when that piece that we just aired was released yesterday in the press conference, you got emotional. What's the source of all those emotions?
You know, just proud to be where I'm from. Proud of my mom, proud to be her daughter, and just to be back out on tour as a new mom, and just kind of everything I've accomplished. You don't really realize until you take a step back from the game, and it just gets me all emotional and I start crying. But just super proud of the video and how the LPGA shared my story.
What do you hope it accomplishes?
You know, just to inspire somebody, anybody, you know, because I was once that person coming from a small town, just looking for anything to kind of grab a hold of, you know, the opportunity to improve where I was and get an education. And then obviously now this is my job. So just inspiring anybody, young, old, whoever.
You were so inspired by your mom, who is a PE teacher, and she tells each one of her classes each year that two of you guys could maybe someday make it to the Olympics. Of all those kids, her daughter is the only one from Roswell up until this last Olympics ever from Roswell. What does that mean to your heart?
It gives me chills just hearing it. You know, I know she's very proud of me, and you know, anytime I can represent my country is the greatest honor. And to stand up there on the tee, be announced from United States of America, there's nothing that compares to it.
Wasn't the greatest day today, but we wish you the best of luck the rest of the week.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. Guys?
All right, Jerry and Jarena, that was great. And Martin has flown in from the Bahamas, where he was playing on the Korn Ferry Tour. Mom Rita, son AJ, all here this week. Here is Yui Kawamoto, and Karen is there at 18.
Yeah, I think this hole playing quite tough today, back into the wind, but this is nice. Tee shot, fairly low trajectory, and in good shape.
And Judy, what do you always say? Is there anyone out here who doesn't have a good golf swing?
We are on the search for a terrible golf swing.
That's not one of them.
Brooke Henderson for a birdie at 13.
Boy, it looked in and then rocked back.
And not an easy hole to birdie today at 196, with the breeze out there causing these players to think a little bit. Only had 5 birdies today.
Here is Se Young Kim, 5th hole, just getting started for another birdie.
Yeah, but 14, one of the hardest holes on the golf course. In fact, at one point, it was the hardest hole on the golf course this morning.
She is on some kind of roll right now after that $1.5 million walk-off putt at the CME Group Tour Championship in November, the last event of last year. Had a good start, top 10 finish last week. Here is Lindsay Weaver at the 18th. Commissioner Mike Wan tweeted yesterday, Florida had its one day of winter. Things are going to get better, and it has been better today, a little warmer. It was really chilly yesterday, a little spit of rain.
I knew a bunch of players yesterday who just gave it up on the practice tee and said, this is not the time to practice. Here's Jessica Korda.
Jessica lives in the area, grew up in Florida on the other coast. But now a resident of Palm Beach County. Good shot there and a good chance for a birdie. Very similar putt to the one we just saw from Brooke Henderson. And we do have a hole-in-one prize here at the 13th. It is a 2020 Cadillac XT4 Sport. Well, you could buy it for just under $50,000, or you could make a hole-in-one and be driving away down the turnpike in your brand new Cadillac. We'll see if that gets given away this week at the Gainbridge LPGA at Boca Rio, where 2 rookies lead the way.
This is my headquarters. This is where I trade and manage my portfolio. Since I added futures, I have access to the oil markets and gold markets. Okay. I'm plugged into equities, trade confirmed. And I have global access 24/7, meaning I can do what I need to do. Then I can focus on what I want to do. Visit your online broker today to learn more.
Later, TT. Bye, baby.
At U.S. Bank, we don't just do business in our communities. We invest in them. That's why we're proud to work with the people of Pullman, giving our time, money, and hearts to help create real economic opportunity for the future.
Everything your trip needs for everyone you love. Expedia.
Great shot, Bryson. How can I improve my game?
Yeah, well, I practice with a purpose using FlightScope. And luckily, now there's one for you. FlightScope Mevo. You want to give it a try?
Are you serious?
It uses 3D Doppler radar, sends data to your phone, and it even talks.
248 yards.
Are you serious?
FlightScope Mevo. Super portable, super accurate, and under $500. Go to flightscopemevo.com and use promo code FS50.
Are you serious?
Tiger Woods chases the all-time PGA Tour win record at one of his favorite hunting grounds as Justin Rose defends his title at the Farmers Insurance Open. Watch now on PGA Tour Live and 2 p.m. on Golf.
Gabby Lopez. Second shot at the 12th or third hole of the day.
353-yard par 4. She's put it right down the center of the fairway. The hole on 12 today, really deep in the green, all the way in the back, 31 paces deep in the green.
She said she made a lot of changes in the offseason with her swing and with her putting, and so she wasn't sure what she would have in terms of a playing kind of game last week. Turned out pretty well. This was just a moment ago at 18. Lindsay Weaver. Finish off a round in the 60s. All right. 3 under par 69 for the University of Arizona alum. The rookies tied for the lead. And back in the fairway, Yui Kawamoto.
It's one of the rules that has not changed. If you mark your ball in the fairway off the putting surface, you cannot clean it, so you hold it rather gently with a couple of fingers.
It was Maria Torres, I believe.
Correct.
Karen?
Yep, Maria Torres. And this is just from 172 back into that wind, and just a slight spitting of rain at the moment, and that's come out very low. Has to get up a bit. Oh, just about.
Yeah, I think she hit it a little thin and got away with it.
She's having a grand old time at her first LPGA event.
The one that's like 4 yards left, right between the bunkers. I think if you hit a 30 shot, it doesn't hurt. It might get 2 yards behind it, but nothing over that.
All right, Team Thompson. Nicholas, her older brother, caddying for Lexi at the 12th.
Yeah, that divot, she went really deep into that divot. The club got a little bit stuck. It didn't come all the way through the divot. As a result, the club kind of turns over and the miss is slightly left.
And she won the CME Group Tour Championship in 2018. Her other brother, Curtis, was on the bag.
I think Curtis was the one who encouraged her to try the claw grip with the putter.
He is the very one who did at the U.S. Women's Open last year.
So the tee shot from Jessica Korda. Let's see if she can get it to 2 under. Yeah, nice 2 there. Good start for Korda. Birdied her first hole and then birdied 13. We know that this putt just gently breaks from left to right at the 15th. Started her round from the 10th with a bogey, but hold a good putt at 11 to get that shot back. So she's likely to remain level par through the first 6 holes of the round.
As we look ahead to golf's first major championship of 2020, we're excited to present this week's takeoff to the ANA Inspiration. 2 years ago, Pernilla Lindberg got to that 18th hole, Mission Hills, and needed that putt to get into the playoff with Inbee Park and Jennifer Song. She did. And this was a drive they would make a few times. After Song was eliminated on the 3rd playoff hole, Pernilla made that putt in the dark to keep the playoff going. They came back on Monday morning, huge crowds, and with Inbee Park still with a birdie putt to come, Lindberg applied the pressure. And her putt dropped. Inbee had this to tie it and send it to a 9th playoff hole. Couldn't get it to go. And that inspiring first career LPGA win for Pernilla Lindberg. Her now husband Daniel into Poppy's Pond they went. ANA Inspiration Champion. And we will be there in April. And you see what's coming up next, the ISPS Honda Vic Open as the LPGA Tour makes its way east. And then the Australian Open right after that. Nelly Korda will be the defending champion. Celine Boutier at the Vic Open. Then Thailand, late February. Singapore for the HSBC Women's World Championship. And then the Blue Bay event in China was last played at the end of 2018. They didn't play one last year. They moved it up to the beginning of this season. Gabby Lopez will be the defending champion there, technically. And then back to the U.S., Phoenix for the Founders Cup, where Jin Young Ko's Player of the Year season got started. Kia Classic in Carlsbad, one of our favorite stops, and then the ANA Inspiration. Judy, winning early, what could it mean for a player like Gabby Lopez coming off the victory last week?
Well, you just you get so much more confident than had you not played a good event. Good putt. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, well, as she said, she's been working on some new things. They work. She knows that because those shots that she hit time after time at that difficult par 3 18th pretty much sealed that deal. And secondly, she's just more confident. You know, we talk about the first win. I think the second win sometimes is more important because it confirms to you that it wasn't an accident.
11.
Maria Farsi trying to start birdie and trying to make it 2 Mexican winners to start the year on the LPGA Tour. She finished 98th on the money list last year, having had a late start. Of course, we saw her finish 2nd at the Augusta National Women's Amateur, and that leads us to this player, Grant.
Yes, Jennifer Kupcho, with whom she has been joined at the hip. The good friends who competed against one another. They went down to the wire at the Augusta National Women's Amateur. I talked to Jennifer yesterday. You and I saw her. Because she and Maria deferred their memberships until after the school year ended, this feels a little bit like a rookie season for her. Here's Lexi at 12 for birdie.
Yeah, one thing you have to know about rookies is they are seeing so many of the golf courses for the very first time. Yeah. In the case of Kupcho and Maria Fassi, the first half of this year, they will see a number of golf courses for the first time.
Kawamoto for birdie in the lead.
I think any time a player walked off this green with a par, though, Grant, I think they're quite relieved. It's just a tough hole today.
How about her career scoring average? 68, Karen.
Pretty solid.
First round as a member. What's so tough, Judy?
It's just golf.
Just golf. At 21 years old. No biggie.
Do you struggle in the bunker? It's the only shot where you have to open your stance, open your club face, swing outside to in, and hit exactly 2 inches behind the ball without digging too deep. If you're not a tour player with 40-plus hours a week to practice this complicated setup, you could be left digging in the sand. But not anymore. Introducing the revolutionary new C3i Wedge. The C3i's exclusive AutoGlide Extreme 2.0 sole effortlessly glides through any difficult lie in the sand and rough without digging. You just set up square and swing.
Hit maybe, 10 shots. Not one of them stayed in the bunker. They all came out.
I didn't have to worry about blading it. You can go straight at it with confidence. Didn't have to worry about hitting it fat. That was amazing.
Leaving balls in the bunkers will become a thing of the past because the C3i's amateur-friendly design makes your short game easy. Head over to c3iwedge.com right now to see how you can instantly improve your short game with the C3i Wedge today. That's c3iwedge.com.
I've always been very driven. The original plan was to go to law school, but then I found golf. So I put that plan on hold to focus on making the tour while I continued to homeschool and teach. Is that right? That's right? Okay. And when I realized I had all these young kids following my journey, I worked even harder.
Troy Mullins has won the Mile High Showdown.
What am I focused on next? You'll see.
Get more of golf's best with Golf Pass. Play more with Golf Now Tee Time credits at over 9,000 great courses. More instruction with world-class lessons from the game's best instructors. More entertainment with new Golf Pass Originals and Classics. And more travel deals and golf gear at members-only prices. Join now and get a dozen tailor-made golf balls with an annual membership. More golf. One pass, Golf Pass. Start your 7-day free trial now.
I'm Ryan Burr with this Golf Central Studio update. Round 1 of the Farmers Insurance Open. Tiger Woods making his first PGA Tour start since winning the Zozo Championship in October. That victory, Tiger's 82nd of his career, tying him with Sam Snead for most all-time. So Tiger now is opening round on the North Course at Torrey Pines. A par at the 10th, started on the back 9. Now trouble at 11 for Woods. Bit of a mud ball, misses the green, so he'd have to get up and down to save par at 11. And some thick rough. It looks to be just a gorgeous day outside of San Diego. And Tiger would have that left to save par at 11. And the ensuing par putt sneaks by, and it is a bogey for Tiger Woods. Once again, a win this week at Torrey would be number 83 of his career. Subscribe now at NBCSports.com/PGA Tour to watch the event on PGA Tour Live.
This is Morgan Pressel at the 13th. She's a local here in Boca. Jerry Foltz is watching.
And a member here at Boca Rio as well. Big crowd following Morgan. That's a nice high drawing 7-wood.
Okay. Yeah, middle of the green, nice shot. Bernhard Langer is also a member here. He lives a short distance away. 5 sets of sisters involved here this week, but unfortunately Madison, who was a sponsor invite, Morgan's sister, has had to withdraw due to illness this morning. So they will not be competing together for only the second time in an LPGA event. 2 of the sisters are caddying. That's Kristen Coleman and Brittany Henderson. Of course, we know the Jutanagans and the Corders very well. But bitter disappointment for Madison Pressel, who plays on the Symetra Tour, and this was a huge opportunity for her, but unfortunately, like many people at the moment, she's not feeling very well. Now, Gabby Lopez.
The wind just kind of shifted a little bit, died somewhat. It was helping from the right. Now it's really calm. Going with 4 hybrid, one of the 2 clubs she hit off the tee repeatedly last Sunday and Monday on the final hole. 8 times in total en route to victory. And she hit another beauty with it again. Great line.
Yeah, really good. I say I don't agree with folks who think they should have switched it up at the tournament last week. I thought the 18th was the perfect hole to play, especially with all the fans there, and going to another hole would have been a logistical nightmare, especially having to go across the bridge if you went to 17.
I agree with you. Second shot for another sis. Jessica doesn't like it. A severe dogleg left par 4. Did the hard part. She got it to the corner, but couldn't find the green and reg. 13.
Well, Lexi only lives about 15 minutes away. She's another local and has been over to this course a couple of times to see it in the run-up to the Gainbridge LPGA. Here she is on the tee at 13.
Lexi going with a 4 iron. Choking down on it a bit. Probably going to try and hold it up into the wind somewhat. Exactly what she did. That's an aggressive line.
And just going to funnel off the green. I don't think it's going to reach the longer grass. There's been a lot going on away from the LPGA Tour, and they have joined forces with the Ladies European Tour, which is good news for this joint venture. And Alexandra Armas, who had previously served as chief executive of the Ladies European Tour, is back as the permanent CEO, and she will be working alongside the LPGA Commissioner Mike Wan. The next big step, I suppose, for the LET is the venue for the next Solheim Cup in Europe, which is, I think, close to being announced, so we'll see where that's going to be.
Do you have a little hint for us?
I do, but I'm not going to say because it's not official.
I think there are high hopes that it might be in Spain.
We'll see, won't we? We shall see. It'd be quite nice down there, wouldn't it?
I think this relationship between the LPGA Tour, Mike Wan, and the LET Tour is really, it's a thing that's time has come. And I think the European Tour will certainly prosper.
3 years, well, 3.5 years away from the next European venue for the Solheim Cup. The next US venue will be Toledo, Ohio, in the Inverness Club next summer or late summer. We're talking about the UL International Crown this year. That's the qualifying competition for the international team competition, and of course the Olympics. So we're keeping an eye on that. And the Solheim Cup standings have already begun, have they not?
Daniel Kang leading it, yeah. Well, here's NASA. I said earlier that there were 2 Japanese players in the top 15 currently in the world rankings, and I erred in that statement. Ai Suzuki, who won late last year on the LPGA Tour, is also with NASA, and Hinako Shibuno in the top 15. So there are 3 Japanese players who would get in. Kasumi Gaseki Country Club is where the Olympic golf competition will be held. And NASA is played it as recently as August of last year, she said, and plans to play it when the LPGA makes its swing into Australia and Asia coming up here.
You know, a lot of conversation with the first playing of golf in the Olympics, actually the second, but the first a couple of years ago. And but this time it seems like there's a lot more chatter amongst players who want to go to Japan, want to represent their country.
How many players have said that is their #1 goal for 2020? This is one of them.
Yeah, Lexi certainly wants to be back at the Olympics. Inbee Park, of course, was talking about it last week, saying that she feels like it's her last chance to represent South Korea.
And the encouraging part, too, is the men are on board now, which wasn't the case in Rio quite as much.
4 years ago, there was a lot of negativity from the men, but really not much from the women, and they supported it very well, and it turned out to be a great celebration of golf.
And I have forgotten the order because it's changed this year from the last time. Do the women play first?
No, second.
The women play
same
second.
as they did in Rio.
Is it the same?
Yep.
I thought it had reversed.
Lexi's birdie putt here, kind of slow and gently uphill the whole way. The hole today placed right on top of a spine in the green. Kind of mean for a tough par 3. Turning a little right. Not enough. Good putt, though.
Good effort.
Tough to get into the U.S. men's team and the U.S. women's team. Right now, 3 players are qualified. You can take a maximum of 4 per country inside the top 15. Otherwise, it'll be a maximum of 2 per country working through the world rankings. And Jessica's just a little bit outside. Lexi's in, Danielle Kang's in. And here is Jessica Grant.
Yeah, and she missed the green left in the bunker, blasted out to this point.
Good par.
Did not win last year. You gotta think one of the quarters, if not both, are going to win a major here at some point soon. 5 chances, starting with the A&A this year.
They certainly seem to have that kind of game.
There's a past champion of the A&A, Morgan Pressel.
A lot of things go on in the off season, a lot of events, a lot of charitable efforts. Morgan's is very near here and raises money for breast cancer and all sorts of things for breast cancer that help women. And they raised $1 million just a few weeks ago.
Golf's biggest events. Let's work through the major championships, the Olympics, and then, of course, the UL International Crown, which will be played just north of London, and then the final big event for 2020, the CME Group Tour Championship, being played the week before Thanksgiving. Now Gabby Lopez for birdie.
It might not look too tricky, but it kind of is putting right across that spine diagonally, so might just wiggle a little right early, a little left at the end, past the hole. It all slopes away, so can't be too aggressive.
What are you most looking forward to, Judy, among those major championships and big events this year?
Well, the Women's British Open goes to Troon, and that'll be the very first time. And Troon is actually the first place I ever worked at an Open Championship, so I'll be very interested to see the women play.
At the 15th, Brooke Henderson says her big goal this year is to win another major championship. Of course, she won the KPMG Women's PGA at Sahali. Yeah, that's a good shot there.
To 12. After a couple of birdies to start her opening round, Maria Fassi to save her par.
Good putt. Beautiful putt.
3-1 putts. So Fassi starting her first full season on the LPGA Tour, off to a good start, as are the rookies Kawamoto from Japan and Tabatanikan from Thailand.
Who will start this bidding at 100 guilders, looking for 100.
In 1637,
I'll bid you my house. Sold.
a tulip was worth more than a house. Until it wasn't. No matter the market, and up to a 4% return guaranteed.
I want more. Give me more.
Tulip Mania
Tulip prices hit rock bottom.
was the first market crash.
Get out. Go on.
In these uncertain times, you can count on Gainbridge.
Fun fact, 1 in 4 of us millennials have debt we might die with. And most of that debt is actually from credit cards. It's just not right. But with SoFi, you can get your credit cards right by consolidating your credit card debt into one monthly payment. You can get your interest rate right by locking in a fixed low rate today. And you can get your money right with SoFi. Check your rate in 2 minutes or less. Get a no-fee personal loan up to $100K.
What if you could improve your game with every swing? Practice and track your performance with accurate real-time feedback. Play championship courses anytime, rain or shine, day or night. Experience SkyTrack, golf's most affordable professional-grade launch monitor and simulator. Elevate your game at SkyTrackGolf.com.
Tiger Woods chases the all-time PGA Tour win record at one of his favorite hunting grounds as Justin Rose defends his title at the Farmers Insurance Open. Watch now on PGA Tour Live and 2 p.m. on Golf.